All right, guys, so life on the farm, what are you thinking? Well, we're in the city limits, but we were blessed with a grant this year that we got our own chicken coop. And with that, there were a few hurdles that we had to jump through with talking about, is it even feasible? Are we allowed to have chickens in the city limits at a school district so close to the school? So after, jumping through a few rings, we found out that, yes, we were, in fact, for educational purposes, we were allowed to have our own chicken coop on the farm, or at the school. And it has been so much fun. It was the very first grant that our kids, they wanted that in the first thing. Ethan and Brianna, they're avid chicken farmers. They were one reason, and one other student that couldn't make it today, they were my biggest motivation to really try to get this chicken coop. They love to raise chickens, and at home they get their own eggs. They have the whole process down to an art. So we just recently got the chicken coop in probably about 3 weeks ago. It took us about a week to set it up, and on Labor Day, the other student that couldn't make it, Michael, he had 13 chickens that had hatched that he wanted us to have, and they'll talk about the different types of chickens that we actually have. And so since Labor Day, they're a little over a month old, and they'll soon be laying eggs, and we have 14 chickens and one extra that Ethan brought that's older, she's already has been laying eggs. But I just wanted my kids to learn responsibility. It's not easy taking care of a chicken coop with 15 chickens. And Brianna will talk a little bit about the jobs that they have. At the end of the year, our goal is to be able to have our farmers market with, some of y'all heard about our canning grant in the last session, and just have a time where these kids can show off their hard work and what they've done all year long. And, a lot of our kids have never even gotten to hold a chicken. Some of them are still a little skittish when they get around them. Some of them get pecked and scratched, but it's been an awesome experience for these kids, and something that otherwise they probably would have never gotten to experience. So for that, I'm really blessed and thankful for these grants that was possible through the ARI. And I'm going to turn it over to Brianna, and she's going to talk a little bit about just the types of chickens that we have and their jobs as a class, what they have to do daily, and, Friday to prepare for the weekend. They have a few different jobs, so she's going to talk a little bit about that.
We do have chickens at our school now, and we take turns watering and feeding our chickens each day. We have 4 different breeds of chickens. They are Americanas, Rhode Island Reds, Isa Browns, and we have 1 Boardroom chicken.
So we've had we first found out we were getting the chickens beginning of the year, and we went to Tractor Supply and used our grant money, and we got a whole list of things that we'd need for our chickens. We ordered the coop, we got a year's supply of food, we got some Purina flock blocks that they use it's just enhancement for them. We got bedding, and so we set up the coop and we got ready for the chickens. Now once we got the chickens, it was just not like for the agriculture class. Everybody in the school is happy to have them there. And I found it amazing, we're a K through 12 school, that everyone in the school learned something new about the chickens. Like, for example, I had some people walking up to me, and Mr. Larkin can use you as an example. She said, well, you need a rooster. And I said, why? She said, you have to have a rooster to have eggs. So a lot of people don't know that you don't have to have a rooster for the hens to lay eggs. That all you have to have is the hens. It's a natural process. And I'm really happy we have them, because chickens are such a great animal to have, and they're a fun animal to have, and they also produce for you. So it's just such a great thing to have, and I'm so thankful for the grant.
So talking about across the curriculum, I know Miss Pugh, she's our first grade teacher. She's awesome. And each year she does the life cycle of a chicken. And she actually, you got an incubator last year, correct? or year before last. So she raises the chickens, and she takes her first grade class out, and they actually get to see the chickens. And you know, it's always a good thing to be able to apply whatever you're teaching. And you know, before the chicken coop came in, we went through the life cycle, and you know, we learned all about the chicken in itself, like where it starts, how it ends. Just there's so many things that go into trying to make a chicken the product instead of just, you know, having a chicken outside, you know, for fun. So our goal at the end of the year, like I said, you know, when we go out for summer, there's a summer program in June, and we're possibly going to let the summer program take it over, and then maybe when that ends, sell the chickens for profit. And with the grant, we were able to get an incubator. So we're going to start all over again next year because we want something that's sustainable for our kids. I didn't want it to be just something that we got and then it just kind of fizzles out later on. So with this, it's going to be sustainable, and we can just keep it going year round. And I'm really thankful for Ms. Roark. You're awesome for letting us have this agriculture class. It's been such an amazing experience, and these kids have really got to have some hands-on learning that otherwise, like I said before, they would never have gotten to experience. So, do y'all have any questions?
I'm super curious where you're putting it.
It is, a lot of people are. It is behind our school. It's kind of,
It's a hidden spot.
it's a hidden spot. It really is. Like you can't even see it.
It's not before you go over the hill. Is that where it is? Because the cliff is behind the
It's behind our,
Oh, okay.
yes. And back there, which another grant we were blessed to get is a greenhouse. So the greenhouse, everything, we call it our outdoor classroom. It's basically, we go out there a lot of people don't know. But it's the perfect spot. It's, you know, maybe as big as this room, but it's just a perfect spot for us to go out every single day and take care of our chickens and work our greenhouse. So, yes.
So being where you're located, what do you do with the waste products of the chickens?
That's a good question.
You don't have that worked out yet?
No, we don't. You got any advice?
A composting bin that rolls and then give it to the ag.
We do have a composting bin.
Yeah.
We do have a composting bin. We haven't gotten to where we had to clean it yet.
Oh, you
So,
will?
yes. Well, it's starting to get there. So we actually have 2 composting bins. I don't know what I was thinking from another grant that a couple of teachers actually gave to us. But I was thinking more along the lines with the greenhouse. But
This
yes,
one's for Britni. Is it Britni?
this one's Brianna.
Brianna.
This is my niece.
Brianna. So let me ask you, how often do you worm your chickens?
We've not wormed them.
They're not to the age where we need to worm them yet. So I know Michael. I talked to him, the guy that gave us the chickens. He wormed them at a very young age. Same with one I brought. So right before they start laying, that's when we're going to reworm them. And all you got to do for that is you put the medicine in the food and they'll eat it.
And just one other thing, Rick. What's the process after you collect the eggs? Like, what's the process to prepare them before you give them someone to eat? What do you do with the eggs?
We told you, remember in the last one when we said that our health inspector was going to come up and give us all the go around with how he's talking about sending somebody up to inspect them once a week, but he hasn't given us the full X's and O's yet, but he's going to work that out with us pretty soon.
I was thinking on a method you were going to clean the eggs. Do you have a method yet?
We actually bought from Tractor Supply an egg cleaner.
An egg cleaner?
Yes, with our grant money.
Good. Well, good luck. Sounds like a real good project.
So you're
Thank
going to
you.
be selling them?
Yes,
I'm totally in the market.
yes, yes,
Nothing better than farm fresh eggs.
yes. Yeah, school fresh, there you go. City fresh.
Also, that caused a lot of talk in our genetics class, because we've been talking about it with that, y'all. I mean, that's something else, you know,
Right.
we're like, oh, we can go out, yeah. So it just goes out.
The barred rock. Alright, so in genetics we study codominance, and the barred rock chicken I have is actually an example of codominance. So genetics, I'm going to take it up later that year and let them use the chicken as a hands-on example for the students to see. Because, like Mr. Coop said in his grant, it's harder to see something on paper when you can see it in real life.
This has been one experience where my students teach me daily about chicken, something new about it, because I have grown up around chickens. I'm not saying that I've never raised them, but as much as they have, that they have way more experience than I do with raising the chickens. So this is with what the Danielson framework, the kids running the classroom. There you go. But yeah, this has been awesome. Anybody have any more questions?